Booktube Nation? I'm Sam here again with A Bear and a Bee Books, and today I want to film for you the Once Upon a Book tag, which is associated with the Fairy Tale-a-thon, which is going on right now until August 20th, so definitely come and join us. Our Twitter is @AFairyTale-a-thon. Let's go ahead and get started with the tag. Becky, one of my co-hosts and co-creators, created this tag for us, so I'm so excited to go ahead and get it done. Of course, all of my hosts are tagged: Becky, Alex, Jordan, and Erica. And I'll go ahead and I'll link all their channels down below. Definitely go check them out. Number 1, Once Upon a Time. What is your favorite fairy tale? I have a lot of favorite fairy tales, but in fairness, I love Disney, so it's a lot of the reimaginings that I really enjoy. But I do enjoy some of the originals as well. For this one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Beauty and the Beast. And I have this Disney's Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book here by Jennifer Donnelly. Question number 2, A Land Far, Far Away. What is a fantasy setting you'd love to visit? For this one, I'm going with Mermaid. This is by Carolyn Turgeon. I love mermaid books. I read tons of them, and one of the biggest draws for me when I read a mermaid book is the setting. I always want to check out the palaces and the societies under the sea and see how the different authors set them up. It is definitely my favorite part of any mermaid book, retelling or otherwise. Number 3, Little Woodland Creatures. What mythical character would you love as a pet? For this one, by Julie Kagwa, and this one is The Iron King. This is book 1. This is another Fae series, and in this series, there's a little kind of cat creature called Grim or Grimalkin, and he reminds me so much of the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. He's spunky, funny, and he just had me laughing out loud at certain points. So I definitely would want a Grim. Number 4, Love is an Open Door. Who is your favorite fairy tale, original or retelling ship? And for me, this is probably a very strange answer, but it is it is Nyx and Ignifex from Cruel Beauty. Now, this relationship was not healthy. This relationship was not balanced, but I remember while I was reading this book being truly engaged in the romance, and there's kind of another side character that plays into it as well. But yeah, so this is kind of a Beauty and a Beast retelling, and it was very good. There's also some Persephone and Hades vibes in this one, so definitely Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Number 5, Poor Unfortunate Soul. Who is your favorite villain? So for me, out of the Disney villains, is definitely Maleficent. I mean, she's a total bad A. She can turn into a dragon, like a really bigger than a castle dragon. I mean, who wouldn't want that power? That's awesome. And then if anyone's ever been to Disney World, they do this really neat kind of end of the night show at Hollywood Studios where she makes an appearance called Phantasmic. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. But anyway, so that is my favorite villain of all time. But I wanted to recommend a book villain. So for this one, I have The Bird and the Sword, and this is by Amy Harmon. And the villain in this one, I don't want to say it because it's kind of a spoiler about who the villain is in this book, but I remember kind of being afraid while I was reading it. I was like, oh man, if that was me, that would be really like, how is she gonna get out of that? But I really enjoyed this. It was one of my more favorite fantasy type books of last year. And it's really good. I would say it's kind of like on the higher end of the YA spectrum. Number 6, Fractured Fairy Tales. What's your favorite retelling or reimagining of a classic fairy tale? I've read a lot, well maybe not a lot, but quite a few retellings. It's one of my favorite kind of genre, subgenre, but my favorite of all time is Entwined. Number 1, it's beautiful. If you're into cover art, this is just a gorgeous book. It's a longer, let's see, the spine is beautiful. It's a longer book, but it's definitely well worth it. I remember I felt really connected to the place in this one. It is a story about like family and loss and hope, and I really enjoy it. If you like any fairy tale retellings, I highly recommend this one. And this is by Miss Heather Dixon. Number 7, Happily Ever After. What's your favorite concluding book in a series? And okay, I have to admit, I know, I'm awful, but I barely ever finish series. I love getting into new worlds. To me, description and setting is really important as a reader. So my favorite part about a series is learning the new world. So a lot of times I read book 1 and then I move on to another book 1, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? But anyway, a few series I really loved, really enjoyed, and finished quickly. And one of those is Ascend, and this is by Amanda Hawking. I believe it's based on trolls, but I believe they say trills. Anyway, they're supposed to be pretty trolls, basically. I loved this series. I read it really quickly. It was a gift from my dad, and I went right through it. It's beautiful. It's kind of, I would say, YA, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the writing, but I still love it. I really enjoyed my time with it, and I love this 3rd book. So, those are all the questions for the Once Upon a Time book tag. I hope that you've enjoyed your time here with me. Like I said earlier, of course, all my hosts are automatically tagged, but let me go ahead and add a few of our fellow booktubers. So, I would like to tag Alex Black, Tori at Tori's Book Express, Zariah Rose, Rebecca at Rebecca Books, Leslie at Leslie Ring, Amber Joy at AG Priest, and Joe at Joe the Great. And I'll go ahead and link all of their channels down below. I hope that everyone enjoyed today's tag, and I hope that you'll go ahead and participate. Even if you aren't tagged down below, even if you're not participating in the readathon, please feel free to go ahead and do this tag and let me know on Twitter so I can go ahead and check it out. So I'll leave my Twitter information and Goodreads information down below. Please go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you had to see today, and go ahead and click the little bell to get notified when I post new videos. And I want to thank you all for being here with me today. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.